Hello, everyone. This is Miss Reininger, and today in art, we are going to talk about space. Now, we're not talking about outer space like the universe and stars and planets. We're talking about space as it relates to artwork like sculptures and paintings and drawings. So, what space is it's the space inside and outside of an object. So I'm going to pull up a work of art so you can visualize what I'm talking about. So give me just a second here, please. Okay, now on your screen, you should see two images. One of a yellow vase and then another of a white vase with faces. Okay, so let's talk about this. There are two kinds of space. So when you look at a drawing or a painting or a sculpture or photograph or so forth, the space that is that's inside the main subject is called positive space. So if you look at this image right here with the yellow vase, all the space inside of the yellow vase, that rhymes, that is the positive space. Outside of that, the white part is the negative space. So the background is negative space. You can see it better in this next image. So what do you see in the black negative space? Take a second here. Do you see two faces facing each other? Very good. So you can see here's the forehead, eyebrow, nose, mouth, chin, and the same thing over here. So it's facing the other way. So we have the forehead, eyebrow, nose, mouth, and chin. Okay, so you can see how artists use positive and negative space in their artwork. So today we are going to use positive and negative space when creating our artwork as well. So today we are going to create shapes using positive and negative space. So on this right here, you can see in the positive space, this greenish blue right here, I have a diamond. But then in the outside, it also creates a diamond as well with the negative space. So you can see it's just reversed right here. And I've done the same thing with these triangles, okay? So let's go ahead and gather our materials so we can create our positive and negative space artwork, okay? So here are the things you're going to need. You are going to need 2 pieces of paper. It's best if they're 2 different colors. So if you have colorful construction paper, painted paper, that will work. Now, if you're somebody who only has white paper at home, what you can do is on one of your sheets, you can either color it with crayon or paint it if you have permission from your parents, or color it with marker. You could even put designs on it. That's up to you, okay? So that's a way that you can create 2 different colors because you're going to need it in order to see the positive and negative space. You're also going to need a pencil or a marker. Now, I would suggest a pencil because it's easier to erase. I'm drawing with a marker today, so it's easier for you guys to see, but I would suggest a pencil. A pair of scissors and glue. So it could be a glue stick or a bottle of glue. Either one will work. Okay, so I'm going to angle my camera here so you can see what I have on my table. Okay, so here are my 2 sheets of paper. One of these sheets I'm going to cut in half because I will only need half of it. So with the other half, you can save it for another project, or you could do something else with it, like recycle it. So what I'm going to do to get an even half piece is I'm going to fold it in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time and carefully match up my corners. Here's how I get an even fold. So once those corners are matched, I hold it in place and then I smooth it out, and that gives me a nice even fold. Okay, now I'm going to open it up and I'm going to cut out on this fold. So if you have trouble seeing it, you can trace it with your pencil or marker. I'll just trace it so you can see it better, and that will make it easier to cut. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just do your best. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to take my time and go slow and stay on that line. Okay, now I only need half. So the other half, if you made some pretty paper, you can just save it for another use. So I'll put that aside. And now what I want to do is I want to fold this in half so I have two sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to fold it this way, not this way. Okay. So remember how to fold neatly. You take your time and match up your corners. So go slow, match those corners up before you fold it. Then hold it in place, and then you can smooth it out, and you'll get a nice, even fold. Okay, I'm going to draw the line. So I'm going to just draw right down where I have my fold so it's easier to see when I cut it. So you can see that I have divided it in half. And now I'm just going to cut it. So I'm going to take my time. Okay, now I have two pieces. Now what we're going to do with each of these is we're going to fold them in half and cut out a shape so that it's the same on each side. That's called symmetrical balance, when something is the same on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these pieces for now, and I'm going to fold it in half this way. Okay, so I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to match up those corners very carefully. Yes, we're doing a lot of folding in this project. Then smooth it out. And then you can open it. Actually, no, don't open it back up. Leave it folded. Now, I want you to notice we have the open side, like kind of like when you open a book, and we have the folded side. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a shape that we would like to draw, and we're only going to draw half of it on the folded side. Be very careful not to do it on the open side, or else it's not going to work right. Okay, I've had a lot of students accidentally do it on the open side, and then it doesn't work properly, and then they get frustrated. So make sure that you're on the fold. Okay, now I'm going to pick a shape. I'm just going to pick something really simple to start, and I'm only going to draw half of it on the fold. I think I'm going to choose a circle because that seems like an easy start. So on the folded side, I'm going to do a half circle. Okay, see how I did that? And notice how it's on the fold. Now I'm going to keep it folded, and I'm going to very carefully cut it out. So keep it folded, don't open it, and take your time. Stay on the lines and cut it out. So you don't have to do a circle, okay? You can do any shape you want, but only draw half on the fold. So you could do like a triangle or a square, rectangle, whatever shape you like. Now, when I open it up, you can see it makes a whole circle that's even on both sides. So that's the positive space. When I open my negative space up, it makes a circle on the inside where it got cut out. So now I have positive and negative space. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to glue these on the paper, but I need to make one more shape first. And that's where this paper comes into play. Now, just like before, I'm going to fold it in half. So very carefully, take your time and match up those corners. Once they're matched, hold it in place and just smooth it out. Now you could do the same shape again, like a circle or square, triangle, or you can switch it up and do a different shape. I think I'm going to do a different shape this time, and I think I am going to do a triangle. So make sure you are on the fold. Don't draw it on the open side. Okay, see how that's the open side? This is the fold. So this is the side I want to draw on. And I'm going to draw half of a triangle right on the fold. So I'm going to draw half of it. So I do a straight line like that. I should turn it so you can see it. And then a straight line over. Okay? See that? Okay, so you can see how it's on the fold, not on the open side. Now I'm going to keep it folded, and I'm going to carefully cut out on the line. Try not to make any extra cuts, because if you do, it's not going to match like these do, okay? So don't make any extra cuts. When you get to like a corner like this, turn your page to make it easier to cut instead of angling your wrist. And then I'm going to finish cutting. Be careful not to pinch your fingers. Okay, now when I open this up, I have this triangle to be my positive space, and this triangle to be my negative space. Okay, see how they match? This could fit like a puzzle piece right in there. Okay, now the next step is, and you can look at my example, I need to arrange these shapes so that they're opposites. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start with my big negative space shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the back of one of them. So I like to outline with glue first, so that the outer edges don't pop up easily, and then add a little bit of extra glue on the inside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to match it up with one of the top corners, either this corner or this one. Either corner is fine. I think I'm just going to do this corner. So I'm going to match this corner with this turquoise corner. So I'm just going to take my time. It's okay if it doesn't match perfectly. And then once it's matched, you can just smooth it out. Okay. Now next to it, I need to put my positive space circle. Okay. So I'm going to put glue on the outer edge and then some in the middle. And I'm just going to stick it right over here and smooth it out. Okay. So now you can see that's the top part. Now, if you see in my example again, we want the other one to be opposite. So when I glue down my big negative triangle space, it will need to go down here to be opposite. Do you think it would make sense if I put it right here? No, that doesn't look like the example. We want it over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the big negative space piece. And I'm going to put glue on the outer edge to kind of outline it with glue. And then I'm going to add some glue to the inside. Okay. Now make sure you're on the opposite corner. And I'm going to match up. Well, it's a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make these two corners touch, because your papers might not be the exact same size like mine. And that's okay. Things don't always work out perfectly like we expect them to, and we just have to embrace that. Okay, so you can see that these are opposites. Now I have one more piece, my triangle positive space piece. So I'm going to outline it with glue, and I'm going to stick it on just right next to it and smooth it out. Now I am all done. So I'm going to lift this camera up. I'd like to show you our finished product. So now we have an artwork that we created using positive and negative space. I hope you have fun creating. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.